Greetings everyone, this is First in 2753, the next episode of Geopolitical Simulator for Power and Revolution, playing as Ireland. In this game, the goal is to retake Northern Ireland, and I'm doing this through the mechanism of creating an Irish empire, Irish Imperialism. Albanian envoys have placed a membership request within our organization. This looks like the EU. We'll say yes, I'll expand the EU. Give us more trade opportunities and more markets. That is something I would be okay with. So recently the 2018 add-on has come out, and I just may have ended my Somalian series, so I'm contemplating whether or not I want to continue this series or not. I want to see what the subscribers' opinions are, as well as the Patreon supporters to this series. I think there was either one or two, and they're no longer supporting me on Patreon. However, they did contribute, I guess, a significant amount, $5 each, for this channel. So that is a significant amount. Any amount is valued, and I haven't received a ton of Patreon support yet, but $5 is a good amount. It was for 2 months, so that's very much appreciated. So I will probably take the Patreon's opinion first. I gotta see. This series itself is not getting a ton of views. However, that is a pretty good amount, and so far I've not received a lot of Patreon support. So I do want to be true to the Patreons, and let me know what you guys think. So considering ending this series and starting a series on a 2018 version, there's about 5 different options that I've looked at through comments over the past couple months of potential series, and I do, while we're waiting here, because basically with the situation with Ireland is we're basically just waiting it out. That's why this series is kind of hit a lull, and there hasn't been a ton of action. I'm waiting to try to find dirt that I can dig up on a number of different not third world countries, Atlantic countries. I guess they're third world, minor countries. We were looking at Cape Verde. I think we were looking. We have dirt on Cuba and Venezuela, but both those are far too powerful for us to take on. Ireland's military is not that strong. I think I was looking at Trinidad and Barbados. And then there was other options down here, right? Equatorial Guinea, and maybe even, what is that? Cholera disaster. Yikes. Possible intervention in these struggles is also an option. Declare war on one of the 2 warring parties, go to war and attack one of the 2 warring parties. I don't think I have the manpower and the capacity. And trying to build up the economy, which has grown a significant amount, and we are currently at 7% growth rate. Inflation is very high, though, at 11.63, and unemployment is down below 4, so that looks pretty good. Popularity is at 89. Budget deficit, excess of 90 million, which was greater than the previous year, so it might grow more as we pay down debt over the course of this year. This debt has gone down from 236 to 192. I also may have cashed in on new debts, which may have started at the beginning of this year, payments, particularly this railroad here. So, like I said, we've sort of hit a lull with this series, and I'm considering, since I already bought the 2018 add-on, I can start making videos right away. However, if I do install the add-on, when I installed the 2017 add-on, I lost all the games that was currently running on Albania got rejected on the 2016 version, and I don't know how to switch back to the 2016. So I think that if I do add the add-on, the 2018 add-on, I will probably lose these games. And I just kind of came to an end of the Somalian series, so I'm considering coming to an end here in the Irish series. Probably going to at least record 1 or 2 more episodes today, so you'll see them throughout the week. But one thing I am going to be asking in these episodes is, if, one, do you want me to end this series and go for 2018 for some new series, and if so, what are those new series? And like I said, looking through, I really got 5 different options that I've been looking at. And I'd like to go over them kind of with you while we're waiting for this economy to grow. So let's talk about those now. I can even probably speed this up a little bit. Did I do that? Yeah, I can talk about these while we go quickly through February and maybe March. Okay, so options that I've looked at that I've had suggested to me on the channel. The first one actually is one that I recommended myself. I didn't really get too much of a feedback from it, but I thought it was pretty cool because it was something I heard on a different YouTube channel. I think it was Caspian Report, which by the way is a really cool channel if you're interested in geopolitics reports. It's out of Azerbaijan, so it is not something that is funded by a major news channel. Who the heck? Oh, this is a cabinet issue, and it seems pretty cool. It seems pretty consistent along the lines of geopolitical analysis
with the European budget.
Yes, I do want to go for that. And I've been reading a number of books too, particularly by George Friedman too. I might be able to put that in a couple of his books in the description here, which you can purchase through Amazon if I still have my Amazon account. Through marketing for me. Anyways, so what I was thinking is a Trans-Sahel revival, and I would play this as the United States. And I would basically be working to solve all the problems in the Sahel region. The Sahel region is the region between the Sahara and the Congo. And it's one of the poorest regions in the world, one of the least developed regions in the world. There is Nigeria. Nigeria is a pretty well-developed country there, and they are growing and expanding. But the idea is, as the United States, that we would end up building like a Trans-Sahel railroad. We would try to fight all these different terrorist groups and basically turn these countries all green or light blue, making them colonies of ours, and then possibly exploiting their resources. But trying to solve all the problems, ending famine, ending disease. What do we have here? Ending the cholera outbreaks. So basically, as the United States, we would really try to reform the Sahel region. That is would be the primary focus for option number 1. Option number 2 was suggested. Oh, I didn't write down the names of people who suggested it. Someone has suggested a South African series, which to me actually sounded a little bit more like a Hearts of Iron series too. And if you guys want to see a Hearts of Iron series on South Africa for some reason has like the most, or some of the most achievements. There's a lot of achievements to get in South Africa. I might use that as a Hearts of Iron series maybe, playing as South Africa. But the goal was for South Africa to conquer Africa, maybe Europe, maybe the world. And again, this is not really a conquest game. I think there are ways to go about conquering things that aren't as realistic as, and with Forgotten Spy, you can easily do it. But one of the reasons why I do like this game is because it is more of a geopolitical reality, and it's not like a conquest game. So it's really not in the interest for a lot of these countries to go and conquer the world, because it would be a lot to manage and take over and be very expensive. And I think this game represents like that much better than other grand strategy games that are out there. But there are conquest games that are always fun, and Hearts of Iron is one that I've been pretty good at in the past. You can check out the Japanese series that I have going right now. And South Africa is something, again, there's a lot of achievements there. I haven't played as South Africa yet, so there's achievements I can knock off on Steam, and that would be fun, just do like an achievement quest with South Africa. And I think that might be something I'm thinking about. So either South Africa or...
undoubtedly, you will remain the face of the company.
An endorsement. Either South Africa or through Hearts of Iron, or South Africa through this. But I think I might be proposing it through Hearts of Iron, because I am looking for some alternative strategy games to get into. And I'm looking for series to start on Twitch. I am still trying to get Twitch going. I'm trying to figure out what is the most optimum settings for the current situation that I'm in. Since I moved recently, ever since I moved, when I've attempted to play on Twitch,
undoubtedly,
it really has not. There's a big lag, so I have to really take some time and time that I don't have, and look into what are the optimum settings on Twitch. So, but I think that would be a cool series. That would be number 2, South Africa, African conquest, and with Hearts of Iron. I think there's an option to conquer England and Israel under South Africa. That would add achievements. So that is something I really am considering. Let me know if you guys like that idea. Speaking of other types of games and other types of series, I'm also thinking about a Total War series for Attila. I've been playing that for a while as the Eastern Roman Empire, and I think about doing a saving the Western Roman Empire series. I think I mentioned that in the comments somewhere previously. So if you like that for Attila, that could also be another Twitch. Geopolitical Simulator 4 is not something that Twitch is set up to run for some reason. It's one of those games that you can't select on Twitch. Sure. I don't know if anyone's been doing that, but there's also the super chat option, and I might be going with that soon. But for some reason you need to have a company name. I don't know if I actually need to have an actual company or if I can just make up a company name.
Thank you.
If anybody knows, please feel free to drop that down in the comments. And let's get her to speak highly of me. Good. So yeah, right now it's United States Trans-Sahel Restoration or Revitalization. South Africa, Conquer Africa, and Achievement Run for Hearts of Iron. Total War Attila. Restore the Western Roman Empire. And then, of course, I know this channel is basically for Geopolitical Simulator viewers, so I have at least 3 other options. Oh no, sorry, 2 other options. Oh no, 3 other options for this Geopolitical Simulator 4 series that I've been doing. And one was mentioned, Hapsburg Restoration. Habsburgs were the ruling power in Austria for a while there. National holidays, number of centuries. Got a nice statement in the press there. Good.
Our governmental cell
yes,
informs me
we want to target somebody there. So the Habsburgs controlled Austria, but they were also the emperors of the Holy Roman Empire, which had sort of a nominal control over Germany, but they did have an Austro-Hungarian Empire that dominated most of southeastern Europe, and the move would be to restore a lot of that, bring that back in to Austria. And I did do like a practice run at this at one point, and I was actually doing okay.
I'd like to.
So I do kind of like that Austrian Hapsburg Restoration, and I think that would be a really cool one to start with 2018 add-on, as well as the Trans-Sahel episode or series. That would be really cool. Okay, so that would be option number 4, as well as option number 2 in GPS4. Then there's another one to play as Turkey. Turkey is a really cool one because I've been reading up a lot about Turkey and their geopolitical situation. They have arguably one of the best situations in the Middle East to dominate the Arabic world from where they are situated. They control the Bosphorus and Dardanelles Straits here, which are vital for Russian trade. And they are influential in the Mediterranean. They have part of Cyprus taken over there. And Cyprus controls a lot of the Levant region from Cyprus. So Turkey is definitely an up-and-coming country and economy. If you read George Friedman's book on the next 100 years, George Friedman is the president and chairman of Stratford Corporation, which does geopolitical analysis, I think for like major companies and stuff, but they also produce a lot of stuff online. If you read his book, The Next 100 Years, Turkey, he identifies as one of the next rising powers in the 21st century. He predicts that Russia and China will fragment, and from that fragmentation, 3 countries will rise and become very influential. He says Poland, and Poland will be the leader of an Eastern European coalition, and they will begin penetrating north into Russia. Turkey, which will expand their power in the Caucasus and possibly the Middle East, as maybe into the Black Sea a little bit. They're already doing it in Syria. As Syria crumbles, I think just a week ago Turkey moved into this, where is that, Afrin region? That's not it. Oh, that region is supposedly controlled by Turkish proxies. And this region, northwestern Aleppo, which I think is also, which is Afrin, if I'm pronouncing it right, that has been occupied. It was originally occupied by Kurdish forces. However, Turkey has moved in there, and now controlling there, they can supply their proxy groups in this region, and possibly threaten to make another occupation of Aleppo, which would just be
Our
horrible
governmental cell
humanitarian.
informed
Ooh,
me that
this
it
is
has
good.
had the opportunity to approach this.
Maybe we
potential
can have a
informant.
target here.
According.
Let's check that out. Anyways, they're already sort of flexing their muscles. Of course, they needed to sort of get Russia's and America's, consent to occupy that region, but their expansion is already beginning. And I think as the Syrian conflict unfolds, you're going to see fragmentation in that country probably, and Turkey is going to be one of the countries that may be expanding its borders, or at least its influence
are on the right.
In that region. The third country mentioned by George Friedman is Japan, and I know I was talking about a Turkish series there, but Japan is also another one that's interesting. And we want agricultural budget, yes, all the way, because Ireland is very pro-agricultural. Right, we get a lot of our GDP from, that's industry. A lot of our GDP, I think, is coming from agriculture. Okay, so that was 5 series that I just mentioned, and then the last one was also recommended by a subscriber, and there was a couple people that seemed to be in favor of that 124, that GDP. Look at that. That's fantastic. Nice. Okay, and the last series was recommended, and a couple people seemed to like this one, and this was Romania. And sort of restoring Romanian borders, taking Moldova. I think they were mentioning taking over. Oh, that's Odessa. There was another region they were mentioning that I take over. I don't know if it was Odessa. I don't see it on there. Anyways, so Romanian conquest, which included conquering Bulgaria, taking Moldova, possibly expanding a little bit into Ukraine, and Hungary. I think I probably could move into Serbia too if I'm playing as Romania, because they're not part of the Union, or any NATO alliance or anything. So maybe even Slovakia. So that is another option, another conquest option. And if anyone else has any, ideas, feel free to post them down below. Of course, Patreons do get the priority when choosing the next series. And so their votes, I have to say their votes will count the most. I may end up doing a Super Chat series and start doing some live streaming again, possibly next weekend, so we could definitely talk about it there. But as of right now, I haven't decided. And so I mentioned 6 options. Feel free, feel free to post down below and let me know what you think. I'll try to put all 6 in the comments, so I have that sort of organized. So, like I said, Sahel Revitalization, or Development series by the United States. Ottoman Empire Restoration with Turkey. Romanian Restoration in Eastern Europe. There was also like the idea of leading a coalition against Russia included with that, which I really like that idea. No, we're not going to look at that one. So Sahel region revitalization, Turkish Ottoman Empire restoration, Hapsburg Restoration, or Romanian Eastern European dominance something. I have to come up with a better name of that. It's all restorations. I don't want to keep using the word restoration. Romanian Restoration, Ottoman Restoration, Hapsburg Restoration. Those are all the options there. Or Sahel Development, because I want to say revitalization because it was never really vitalized. So those are the options, and I'm going to post them down below. Please vote and let me know. And I think there's a way to do a poll on YouTube. I'm going to try to figure that out. Maybe I'll include that in the series. Okay, so that is really what's going on. For some reason that was pushed back to, I had that going fast the whole time. So I'm going to try to push this till the end of this quarter here, get some quarter results, and maybe we can get a better idea of where we stand economically in the 2020 year. There are elections coming up in 2021 for Ireland, so we'll see what happens there. And I am not good at elections in this series, so we might be losing the election. I don't know. I've won elections in the past. I had the series on the United States where I won that election, which was one of my first series. But this game is tough when it comes to elections, because you just don't know. It's tough to understand, like, what... Here we go. National Festival. Here we go. Ah, St. Patrick's Day. Yes. So where was I? Taxation. Beat it. 22, or $220 million excess. Good. Debt seems to be dropped another $3 billion. It looks like we paid off another $3 billion in debt. That's fantastic. And if you go into Ireland here, 316, and it looks like inflation is dropping. Unemployment rose a little bit, and growth slowed down, but I feel pretty good. No, we don't want to do that.
Our network has been partially disbanded.
0 agents arrested. What's that supposed to mean? Yes! Get in there, Trinidad and Tobago. Our military is in the Azore Islands at our one overseas base. And look at that. Almost 9,000 soldiers, 8 cruisers, 10 tanks, and an aircraft carrier, which it looks like they're carrying 5 or 10 fighters. Meeting with Argentina.
Good morning.
Let's see. We could use a trade deal at this point. They want to sell us sugar, and they have a cheaper price for sugar. Do we have a demand for sugar? We do. 160. This is not a bad deal. Let's see if we can get a better price. And I do think this lowers inflation. Again, I'm not sure. There is a lot of debate on the channel about this. Did I do that right? What happened? Was that the right? Maybe I screwed that up. I think I screwed that up. Were they trying to buy sugar from us? Yeah, they couldn't be. Maybe they were. I might just have to cancel that deal immediately. Ah, I hate when I do this. I always get confused with this. Let's just see what happened. I was expecting a negotiation there. Did I screw that up again? Annual sale. No, that's not what I want. I thought they were selling it to us. Detail. I don't even want this. I'm just going to suppress it. I can try to avoid trade anyways with other countries. Take more of a neoliberal approach. Okay. That's why I have to play these games when I'm much more well-rested, which I am not lately. Been well-rested at all. Which is also why I'm thinking about just doing a no commentary series on Twitch. If you guys are interested in that. Someone had mentioned with the Trans-Oceanic shipping game that it was just nice to hear the background, and maybe you can just view that and not have to deal with my voice. Just look at my actions, and I've noticed other people have done that, so if it's something you guys would be interested in this channel and seeing that, that game does not get monetization though, even though I think some of my videos there may be commercials. I am not seeing profits from those commercials because those videos are not monetized, minus the first video in that Trans-Oceanic series. And so I think I might continue that series just to try to get some more content on the channel, maybe to expand into more logistical games to see if people like those ideas. There is sort of a geopolitical aspect to those logistical games too. I think they're kind of fun, and it's something I could definitely produce more often. I could probably get a video out every day on that if I don't have to do commentary, because I can just come home and play the game while I'm eating dinner or something like that. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want for this channel. I've gotten a lot of support in the past couple of months, past 2 years. The channel's grown to over 1,000 subscribers. 1,100, which I appreciate very much, all the subscribers. Nice cash reserve there. And let me know what more you guys want to see. And if there's anything you definitely want to see, Patreon support will guarantee it. as always. But this train is definitely running. You can see that there. I definitely saw some trains running there. So we got things operational here. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next episode.